Hey, how you guys doing, man? Yeah, happy Sunday. Yeah, I know I did a live stream yesterday, which was great. I really enjoyed it, and I keep getting the urge to do more live streams. And to be honest, there's there's so much time um just sitting at home. It's not like I've got to be anywhere with this lockdown. So let's see how many people we get on today. But yeah, I was gonna give some tips on things that I do to get me through my mental health of anxiety and depression. I've just been watching some stuff online. Let me make sure this chat's working. Let us know in the comments. I'm just going to write become fearless to make sure. Because I sometimes have problems with the chat. I can't see the questions that you write. So, yeah, I've been watching a lot of stuff online. It's been really, really nice people that have been talking openly about their battle with depression. You know, a lot of boxers, people that I really look up to, and it's been really nice because it's good that people are being open about it because I suffer with it as well, and I'm certain that probably all of you do, especially with this lockdown going on for so long. You know, it is inevitable that you're going to get depressed and anxious at some point with spending so much time inside indoors because of everything being closed. Yes, it's just. So what else was I going to say? Yeah, and I think it's nice because sometimes. Oh, great! It is working. It's good. Oh, I like your emojis. Those signs are great. So, yeah, what's everyone up to? What are you guys doing? Did you see the boxing last night? I watched. I really enjoyed the fight Ryan Garcia against Luke Campbell. That was a good fight, man. There's been a lot of good boxing fights. So, who saw the fight? Yeah, as always, let me know where you're coming from. Yeah, one of the best tips I could give is what I was going to say now. Sorry, got to just get myself social. Yeah, talking is probably one of the best things for depression and anxiety. That's why I thought I'd do a live stream. It might help people a lot. I think the best thing's probably exercise, but no, I'm not going to watch the Mayweather fight. I'm not interested in seeing YouTube celebrities fight boxers. It doesn't appeal to me. I don't consider it a real fight, so I'm not interested in that. I'm only going to watch the real boxing fights. So yeah, other than exercise, which is I think is the best thing for depression and anxiety, one of the best things, probably is the best for those of us that can't do that because the gyms are closed and you might not have equipment at home, weights and stuff. I think the next best thing is being social, is having someone to talk to. You know, it doesn't always have to be about talking about your problems and your issues. Just sometimes a positive conversation about anything, boxing, sports, or films, just to take your mind off of feeling down and stuff and overthinking. So I always see the value in that, the sense in having a conversation, because I think that's a lot of the cause for depression, anxiety at the moment, that people are not really able to to be together in person, and obviously spending too much time on your own. I know for me it's always challenging, even though I like having time on my own. When you've got too much time on your own, then you can't help, your mind starts thinking, you start thinking of you can go into dark places and you start thinking negative and stuff. Or so it's good to break that pattern by talking to other people and trying to talk about positive things that you enjoy. So yeah, I've been watching quite a lot of good films lately. I'll recommend some of the films, but I can't think. I've got to just try and sit and think. Been watching so many films. Be good to see what you guys are watching. Give this stream a like. Let me share this stream out. Yeah, let us know if you recommend any good films, guys. I'm always on the lookout for some good films or a series to watch. So let us know in the chat. Just gonna share this on Facebook. I like It Man films. I haven't seen any of them. That's martial arts films, right? Is that related to It Man who trained Bruce Lee? Is that the same guy? Yeah, just sharing some stuff there. Yeah, I really believe a positive conversation a day keeps the anxiety away. I might have to have that saying on my wall. Positive conversation a day definitely keeps the anxiety away. Sometimes you don't feel like it, but it's good to push yourself. So if I'm being honest today, I didn't feel that much in the mood to do this live stream because I did one yesterday and I was really in the mood for that one. But sometimes I push myself because I know after 10, 15 minutes of talking to people and stuff, I start to get into the mood. And I think that's kind of the same for everyone. That's one of the things that's really important, I think, with keeping your mental health good and not trying to not get depressed is, pushing yourself to do things that are positive, like speak to people, just things that are just practical things that make you feel good and take your mind off of thinking about, things that are not useful. Yeah, yeah, the guy who taught Bruce Lee. I haven't seen any of that. Yeah, do us a favor, guys. Share this live stream, like and share and comment, and let me know how your New Year was, what you guys have been up to, what you're doing today. All right, I'll check it out. Was a fan of Bruce Lee. I've watched all of Bruce Lee stuff, so I'll give it a try. It's so quiet today in London. I can hardly hear a pin drop. But yeah, as I was saying, man, at the moment it doesn't surprise me, but at the same time, there's so many people that are going through depression at the moment. People that I wouldn't have expected to be suffering that have come out and spoken about it. But I think it's great. I think it's great that especially people that are on the TV, like boxers or people that are in the public eye that you kind of look up to when you're younger, that you kind of sometimes think that they're perfect. You forget that they're human and they do have struggles. It's quite inspiring, and I really respect people when they speak openly about it because I think it takes a lot of courage to talk about your depression, especially for men. And it takes me a lot of courage to talk about it because I've suffered with it on and off all my life. And what I've learned with this anxiety and depression is it is tough. It's never easy. It's never easy, but you just got to try and do little things that just can make you feel a bit better. And just you got to find ways of motivating yourself. I think when you allow yourself to lose motivation, that's when you can get into really dark places. So you need little things to keep you going. So that's why I like doing these live streams because it's my way of motivating myself, helping other people, which I really enjoy doing. And it doesn't cost anything for me to do this or anyone else other than time. And I think it's a good thing. People will appreciate it. But yeah, I mean, with depression, it comes even if you are motivated. Even when the reality is what people say in public and what actually goes on behind the scenes. We all suffer with it. That's the reality. And even when your life's going well, you're still going to have times when you're going to suffer with depression and anxiety. It's part of being human. And I think the more we speak about it, um, the easier it's gonna get, and the better. I mean, it's not going to take it away just by speaking about it, but it can definitely help reduce it and get people into a better place. But it's not something that you just overcome and then it never comes back. It's in my experience, it's not like that. And anyone who's suffered with it, it's usually a lifelong battle. And I know a lot of people, they might not want to hear that because people don't want to hear anything negative, but that's the reality. I'm going to tell the truth of it. With my experience, it does come and go, and it's the best you can do really is learn to manage it and learn to it sounds a little bit contradictory, but learn to be happy um in your life by doing things and trying to find things that you enjoy. But yeah, it is a tough one. It is very complex. I mean, you know there's not a cure for it. There's not a permanent cure at the moment, and if there was, no, we wouldn't be having this conversation. So every person in their life, whether they honest about it or not, it suffers with anxiety and depression. I've realised that, so it's no surprise to me anymore when people say, "Oh, I've actually been suffering with depression," or "I've been having it, on and off all my life," because I don't know, my life experience. I just figured you figure these things out over time. But I do admire people when they speak openly about it in public because, as I said, it takes courage because it's we're weird culture that we live in where people are afraid of what other people think about them. So everyone wants to pretend that their life is amazing and they have no issues and they have no challenges. But the reality is that's not true. It isn't true. The reality is everyone has challenges behind the scenes. Everyone has struggles in their life, whether you're a billionaire or whether you're homeless or whether you're famous. Everyone has it. So it's really about being honest about it and being open. That's a great start. And then finding, things that you can do to get you out of it, like exercise, being social. But because of the restrictions at the moment, I can't give, you know, some of the advice that I'd usually give for people that I apply because I can't really say to people at the moment, well, go down to the gym if you feel depressed, because for most of us, the gym's closed. But what I can do is I can say, well, come onto a live stream. Let's have a conversation. Let's talk about films, or let's talk about boxing, or let's just have a chat, see where it goes, like you would with a friend or a family member. And I think we're all human, at the end of the day, no one's better than anyone. And when you go online, you're usually looking for someone that you can relate to, someone that you can have a conversation with, and that really helps. But yeah, there's been a lot of good boxing on at the moment for For those of you that are boxing fans, let me know in the chat if any of you are into boxing and you watch sports. I think boxing's been great throughout the lockdown. Even though there hasn't been a crowd, I've still appreciated that they constantly put on good fights. I think we've had more. I think we've had more good boxing fights during the lockdown than we've had, prior to the lockdown. Probably more fights have happened because boxers obviously have to make a living and they have to keep their careers going. So it's kind of been a blessing, in one way. So yeah, what's some of the good films I've seen lately that I can recommend? Um, how do you feel about the Ryan Garcia character? But if I'm being honest, I really wanted Luke Campbell to win, right? Um, I'm not a massive fan of Campbell, but he's a Brit, and I really did want him to win. And when he knocked down Garcia, I thought that was brilliant. The knockdown. I was a bit disappointed that he didn't step on the gas and go for the knockout. But yeah, I think Ryan Garcia's knockout was brilliant. It was can't really say anything. It was a great body shot, and yeah, it was. I was shocked. I didn't think um I didn't think Luke Campbell was going to get knocked out of a body shot. I thought he might get stopped. Tyson or Joshua, who you got? Who do you think? Guess who do you think I've got out of the two? Yep, Tyson Fury. I've got Fury. Who you guys got? Who you got out of Fury and Joshua? Who do you think will win that? What do you guys think last night? What did you think about the fight, Ryan Garcia Campbell? Yeah, I feel like Luke Campbell gave him too much respect. After knocking him down, I think he should have went for it. Intelligently went forward, but he backed off too much and let Ryan Garcia recover. But I suppose it's easier said than done when you're in the ring. Obviously, it's a lot harder. Fair enough. You want Joshua, but Tyson seems untouchable. Yeah, he does. I'm glad you like the video on the intermittent fasting. Yeah, yeah. I've got a new video that I'm uploading that I think you guys will really like. That I like. It's about self sabotaging. I'm just uploading it now on my other laptop. It's 87%, so it's almost should be up soon. Yeah, yeah. Tune into the fights. They're really good. Yeah, I'm thinking about because I was thinking about doing a live stream every week, right? Because usually when life is normal, I'd only have time to do it like once a week. But because of this lockdown, I've got a lot more time, as we all have. So I'm thinking about doing them more regularly. Not forever, but maybe as like a way of motivating people. I think it would really help people and help me. Um, it was on the zone. You had to pay for it, but it was only 1.99, which I thought was really worth it. 1.99 a month, and then you could watch the fight. One time I dry fasted for 5 days. Is that not eating? If you did that, that's incredible. How did you manage that? Is that even safe to do that? Is that what you meant? You dry fasted, or is that not drinking? I didn't really understand that. Jeremiah, explain, mate. Yeah, I think for me, right, boredom. Maybe there's a difference between boredom and depression, but boredom's one of my challenges. Usually, uh, over the I don't know the last several years, I'm very good at enjoying my own company, but there is a limit to everything. And as this lockdown has gone on longer, I have found myself getting more bored. Um, Not eating equals constipation. I didn't know that. That's incredible. If you did that, you didn't. You're kidding me, man. You didn't eat any food or drink any water for 5 days. That would have. You must have had a bad headache. For an effective fast, drink 2 liters of water plus two multivitamin tablets. I'll tell you what, man. Why don't we all fast from our internets? That's the real fasting, yeah. The original fasting was no food, no water. I'm kind of having a joke, guys. I like to have a. It's good to have a laugh, not take life too serious. Otherwise, it does get stressful. But honestly, imagine, right, if we all had our laptops taken away, our internet connection for a month, even a week. I think we'd go nuts. I know I would. I'm so addicted to the internet. It's you know, we've just become so dependent on them. But that would be good. I would like to do that at some point. I think that would be easier to do when we're not in lockdown. Because what I would do if I had no internet connection, if I was fasting and not using the internet, I got really worried then. I don't know why my internet connection keeps going funny. Guys, if this cuts out at any point, apologies. It's not my fault. It's been happening a bit lately with the internet. I don't know if it's because it's raining or what's going on. Usually the connection's good here, but on some of the live streams, it's been cutting out prematurely. So I'm not being rude. If it does cut out, it's because of that. So we'll just have to bear with it and hope it doesn't happen. Is that a question for me, John? Did I experience withdrawal symptoms from quitting porn? Um, that's a difficult thing to answer. I don't really, wouldn't say withdrawal symptoms. Um, no, I probably have to say no for that. I think I got more withdrawal symptoms when I was doing food fasting and cutting out chocolates and stuff like that. That's really difficult for me to do. Good for you, man. That's good. Well, I think fasting has its limits, doesn't it? I mean, fasting for a certain time might be good, but I don't think it's healthy to starve yourself for long periods of time. Then again, I'm not a scientist on this matter, but just from my own common knowledge, I wouldn't have thought it would be healthy, um, especially during this time where there's a lot of stress and anxiety. And I think you need some food and energy and stuff like that. And have you seen Cobra Kai on Netflix? It's really good. If you've seen the Karate Kid, then you would like it. I'll tell you guys a great film if any of you have seen it. It's been out for a few years now, but I think it's a brilliant film. It's a bit violent, but No Country for Old Men. I think that film was brilliant. Let me write that down. Right, check this film out. It's on Netflix. No Country for Old Men. I really like this film. I can't explain it. The character in it's brilliant. I think he's in the James Bond film. Oh, did you watch it, John? Yeah, well done. You preferred season two. Yeah, I wasn't sure. I quite liked all of them. I can't remember season two that thorough because I only watched all of the seasons once. But yeah, I think they're really good. Yeah, to be honest, guys, I didn't really plan on talking about porn addiction today because I've done so many videos on the channel about it. I don't mind if you guys talk about it. Obviously, free to say what you want on this chat. But I've spoken about it so much. I probably kind of bored of speaking about it. I just want to probably talk about something else. I will do more videos. I've done loads of videos on porn addiction. I was getting a lot of people complaining and criticizing me, saying, "Why are you doing so many videos on porn?" But I was saying because it's helping people. People are asking, and it's something that obviously we all of us guys at some point have problems with. Yes, yeah. I see what you mean. Yeah, season two they focus more on Johnny's story. My only criticism of Cobra Kai is that it's very rushed. It it kind of rushes the story, the pace of it. But I suppose I was saying it to a friend of mine. I've got a good friend of mine who lives in America, and we speak over WhatsApp call. He used to come to London. He was one of my old clients who became good friends. So we'd always, spend a lot of time in person. But since this lockdown and stuff, we talk over, Facebook and stuff. And he was saying he loves Cobra Kai as well. He's the one who told me about it. We're both kind of agreeing that I think it's appealing to the younger generation, and it's more of a quick fix. But it's still a brilliant show. I like it. A bit cheesy, but yeah. I'm a fan of any Bruce Lee film. Yeah, me too. Yeah, well then I'm sure you've seen Dragon. That's been out for years. That's pretty good. That is a good film. Jason Scott Lee. No, I've not seen Peaky Blinders. My mum told me that was really good. I just didn't feel inspired to watch it for some reason, but I've heard it's good. Do I like Trump? I prefer him to the others, and I wanted him to win this election. So yeah, I prefer him to the others. I think he seems more honest to me, and like he's made the results that he's gotten during his presidency in America have been seem to be a lot better than the others. But look, I'm no expert on politics. I don't have that greater interest, but I did want him to win, and I'm not at all I'm not scared to say that. It seems like today you can't even say the man's name without people attacking you, but at the end of the day, everyone should have a right to who they want to vote for, and shouldn't be they shouldn't be attacked for it and stuff. If we're really living in a democracy, but that's another story. Did he? Did David Cameron almost ban porn? That's one of the best moves they could have ever done. Why didn't he do it? I didn't know that. Is that true? Do I work out? Yeah, I work out, but not lately because of the lockdown. I've been training all my life on and off since I was a young skinny teenager. My dad first made me train when I was younger. He made me do push-ups. He made me do squats. He made me do dumbbell curls. He made me do shadow boxing. He made me run. So I suppose my dad was the first person that I can remember in my life who forced me to do some training. And then I was an amateur boxer for several years. I I lifted weights for many years, but I have had times where I've stopped training and started again. But yeah, for most part, I've trained all my life. I love it, and if I'm being honest, at the moment, I'm quite depressed and gutted at the moment that I can't use the gym because of the lockdown. But I'm trying not to let me get me down. Good to see you, my friend from Ireland, Eon. Great stuff. Exercise is great. It got scrapped, is it? Because of the focus on Brexit. See, this is why I like these live streams, right? Especially during lockdown, because it's simple, and I know this is helping a lot of people. Let me know in the chat if this helps you. You know, if coming onto these streams and having a conversation like we do, if it helps your mental health, just let me know in the chat box. Just say just write yes if you can't be bothered to type. It helps me. It definitely helps me to help you guys. So just write yes if these live streams are helping you to feel better about yourself. Well, I'm not an expert on that, but I have heard that sunlight is important, and there are apparently scientific links that if a person's not getting a lot of sunlight, they can get depressed. I can see why that makes sense. Great. Yes, we've got a few yeses here, so that's great. Yeah, that's why I'm going to set myself a challenge and start doing these maybe daily. I'll see if how I feel. Because I really enjoy them. Yesterday's one was brilliant. If you come onto my stream yesterday, I really appreciate it. It was a great support. We had a great bit of conversation, and as I said, a conversation a day keeps the anxiety away and the depression. Yeah, I'm gonna do a video soon on sleep. I've had real battles myself throughout this whole year with sleeping. I've actually got my sleeping pattern good again, but there was a period where it was not good, and then I got it good. It's a challenge, man. These live streams are good. Thank you, man. We can all help each other stay connected. 100%. That's what it's about, man. That's what it's about. Helping each other. That's the like. What else can we do? It's much better than being negative. I'm not going to say a lot of people, but I suppose there's people out there like that. So yeah, has anyone seen No Country for Old Men? It's basically it's about I guess you could say I don't know if you could say he's a serial killer, but he's definitely a psychopath in it. The guy who plays it, and it's just yeah, I can't explain it. It's a unique film. It's got some good actors in it, and what's the actor's name who's a bad guy in it? No, it's not a porno. This is a film. Yeah, you've seen it, Eon. Great film. Check it out, man. It's exciting and there's not much speaking in it. That's what I kind of like. It's exciting. It's scary, isn't it? It's like an adventure. Great actors in it. Let me just let me just Google up the actors' names, man. Right. I think is it Josh Brolin? I think is it Josh Brolin his name? Okay, let me check this film. No. I know Tommy Lee Jones is in No Country for Old. Yeah, Yeah, the bad guy in it is called Javier Bardem. He's terrifying in it. You got Tommy Lee Jones, you got Josh Brolin, you got Woody Harrelson. It's he's a psycho in it. This guy. It's this crazy film. How to be motivated all day? That's a good question. I think you've got to set yourself small goals. Yes, yes, he's the bad guy from Skyfall. That's it. I watched Skyfall again the other day. Brilliant film, James Bond. He's the baddie from Skyfall. He's a great actor, man. He plays a great villain, man. Yeah, I think to be motivated all day, you gotta get an action plan. and have have like a set of tasks to do, that will keep you motivated. And as you do each task or goal, it gives you more momentum. Yeah, no country for old men is a classic. I've watched so many films lately. Do you know what's a good series? Daredevil's really good on Netflix. For those of you that like kind of Marvel superhero, it's got a great storyline. Yeah, let me know, guys, if you recommend any good films to watch. I'm always on the lookout, so just comment in the chat if there's any films that you recommend. I've been watching loads at the moment. There's not really much else to do during the evening and the night. What else is there I've been watching? Trying to think. What did I watch? Just gone blank now. I've watched so many. What do you think the reason for that? I don't know what you mean, mate. Remind me. Sit down for coffee. I don't do it every day, John, but sometimes I go out and get one. I don't have a coffee machine at home. I prefer to get coffee from the shop. My one's more of a mint tea, but I do drink coffee when I can. I watched Mindhunter, Eowyn, sorry. I was a bit disappointed. I liked it at the start. It was good, and then I thought it got a bit repetitive, a bit boring, but it was pretty good. I think a lot of people would like it. Maybe I was expecting too much. A film I watched recently was Knives Out from 2020. Very surprising one. Is that good? Knives Out, yeah. Oh, why does my anxiety come out of nowhere without understanding why? Happens to everyone, man. Happens to everyone. Happens to me. It's I think it's the subconscious. We worry a lot subconsciously. We think a lot. Um, and I think when you're spending time like in a lockdown, it's very normal you know, to get triggered with anxiety out of the blue. Happens to me, man. Happens to everyone. No, that's all right, man. You can talk about different things on the stream. I like going off tangents, so you can. That's what the stream's for. It's for people to, kind of express themselves. So there's no, we don't have to stick to one topic of conversation. Yeah, long walks are great for depression, anxiety, especially down the river. Look, I think at the end of the day, man, everyone suffers with mental health to a certain extent, and you've got to find what works for you. For some people, I mean, I think for everyone, exercise works, but everyone's got their own little habits and things that they do that help them. And I try and figure out things that help me and share them with people. So, but you got to find what works for you. What works for one person might not work for the next person. So it's really about coming up with solutions and therapies and strategies that can get you out of feeling depressed. I'd say one of the best things is when you got something that you're focused on, that you're passionate about, and that you're kind of obsessed with, and something that you can put your energy into. That's one of the best cures, I think, for depression. But I know for a lot of people, they might not have anything at the moment. They don't know what they like. They can't find. So that's another challenge where you've got to figure out what it is that you enjoy in life, what makes you happy. I do think films can help. I don't think they're always a solution, but sometimes watching a good film, you know, it can take your mind off. It can obviously take you out feeling depressed and stuff. But I'd probably say the two best things I've found is exercise and socializing. If I'm feeling depressed, like spending time with family, friends, or a girlfriend, and yeah, that's great. Putting some videos on your YouTube channel. Hobbies, socializing, exercise. Great, great therapies for depression. Say it again: hobbies, exercise, and social time. Yeah, well, I don't do the streams every day, but I'm thinking about doing them. Um, if I can do them daily as a challenge, because we're in lockdown. But I am trying to do them more often. We'll just have to see at the moment, because it's just a weird time at the moment. So that's why I just did it off the off chance today. Sometimes I like to challenge myself, guys, and just throw myself in the deep end. It's one of the methods that kind of I've kind of figured out by accident with building confidence. And some of you might want to try this. And sometimes I find if I plan things too much, it can be good, but it can not be great. Where if I just throw myself in the deep end, like today, I just come on the chat without planning. I didn't know I was going to do it. I just think, right, and I just hit the live go live button. It gives me more confidence. It's a bit uncomfortable at the start, but the more you practice, doing things, because sometimes if you think too much, you're not going to do it. So I guess it's a technique that I've developed over the years for being able to take action. And maybe some of you want to try that. Sometimes it's good just to be spontaneous. Um, yeah, I see the value in it, but it's up to you guys. Yeah, we need each other 100%. I'm a huge believer in throwing yourself in the deep end, right? And I don't mean jumping into the deep end of water, right? It could be that, but in life and practicing. If you do something every day, or if you do it 5 days a week, you're going to get really good at it. So I try and apply the same thing with the live streams. I think, well, if I want to help people, inspire them, and I want to get better at speaking on the live streams, I'm going to have to do it regularly. Doing it once a month is not going to be enough. Maybe even doing it once a week can be good, but I don't think it's enough. So maybe for a period, I'm going to do it every day, or every other day. That's just from my thinking. I did speak once in front of 100. That's brilliant, 100 people. Well done, man. That takes a lot of guts. Oh, the battery's low. So, do you like playing or watching any sports? Football? Yeah, I haven't played football in years. I grew up as a kid loving football. I used to play I played as a midfielder, attacking midfield. I loved football, and I'm not as passionate about it as I used to be. But I do support Chelsea, and I did watch the game the other day with my brother. Unfortunately, Chelsea lost to Arsenal, and I think Chelsea have lost again today to Man City. So I come from a family of Chelsea supporters, and so to answer your question, yes and no. I don't play football anymore, but I used to play it. Oh, that's great. Was you doing boxing last year, right? How is it going over in Ireland at the moment, with the lockdown and the rules? Is it the same as it is in London? Is everything in lockdown over in Ireland? And I'm guessing that you still are in Ireland, right? It's similar. Okay. Is it the same for everyone? Because I know obviously in the chat we've got people from different parts of the world. So just yeah, just let me know like what are the rules like similar tier five. Just be interested to know if people are in if everyone is in lockdown. I'm 29 and I've got social anxiety. I have no friends for long. I'm sorry to hear that, man. It's tough social anxiety, isn't it? I think with making friends, it's one of those things that you just gotta like not force and put pressure on yourself. It will happen. It will happen naturally. But yeah, socializing would be helpful. But at the moment, we can't really do that as much. So hopefully, when things get back to normal, for you, just trying to pronounce your name. Is it Manoj? Sorry if I couldn't get your name exactly right. When things get back to normal, then you can start socializing more and make friends. You're from East London. Okay, John. Which part is that? Obviously, I know where East London is, but it's a big place. Is that you talking Stratford? You don't have to give me your exact address if you don't feel comfortable. I know sometimes people don't want to give their address out on the internet, but yeah, whereabouts in East London roughly? You don't have to say if you don't want. Just curious. Ilford, all right. One of my favourite boxers growing up was from Ilford, Nigel Benn. Nigel Benn, the Dark Destroyer. I don't think I've ever been to Ilford. I've probably been past it on the bus, but I haven't actually like walked around there. I've been many different parts of London. I don't recall actually like walking around in Ilford. Yeah, he was a great fighter growing up. Nigel Benn, the Dark Destroyer. I was a big fan of him growing up. His famous fights with Eubank, um, Watson, Collins. He fought obviously the tragic thing happened to Gerald McLennan. Yeah, 90s. Let me ask you guys a question, right? Who's been who's been eating at home, cooking at home, or who's been ordering Uber, Uber or Just Eats? That's your error. Yeah, mine too. Really quiet today, man. It's Sunday. It's so much different to yesterday. Some in the kebabish takeaway now. Yeah, I love a kebab, man. I love Turkish food. I love food in general. Don't get me started on food, man. I've only got to think about food and I want to start eating. Oh, you're only 17. Wow, you're young, man. I couldn't understand your question, Johnny. Could you repeat? I was asking how many of you have been ordering from Uber, from takeaway, or how many of you have been eating at home? Have you been ordering food from outside, or have you been cooking at home? Yeah, it does. You know, when you don't socialize for a long time, it does make you feel like you're going to go crazy. Happens to me. Happens to a lot of people, which is why I'm just hoping that this lockdown's going to get sorted out soon, so we can socialize more. I've ordered a bit through Just Eat. Yeah, I've been using Just Eat as well, John. Been using them a bit more than actual Uber. Oh, by the way, guys, it will take you 1 second. As my American brothers and sisters say, smash the like button, hit the like. I don't even really know what it does. I've been eating at home. I live with my parents. My mum usually cooks. That's good. Better to be at home. Oh yeah, you're from Brazil. I remember. I think you was on the stream yesterday. How is it in Brazil, man? What's it like in Brazil with the? Is it? Are you on lockdown the same as we are in England and the States and Ireland? What's that famous film? Is it about Brazil or are they Brazilian? Is it City of God? That I know that is that film about 15 years old now. It's a very popular film. Is that from Brazil? Oh, we got two likes. Yeah, we had more people on the stream yesterday. Maybe people are resting or sleeping, but that's okay. We still got 13 people. I think yesterday we got over we got 14. We had about 20 something. I did used to get about 30 or 40, but that was last year. Things were a bit different, but yeah, lockdown is the same here. The vaccine hasn't started yet. Yeah. Yeah, what's your thoughts on the vaccine, guys? I don't really like the idea of having injections and taking vaccines. It kind of frightens me putting things. City of God, very popular from the early 2000s. Yeah, I thought so, right? You can rebuild your confidence, John. Yeah, confidence can be regained again. You've just got to put a little bit of effort in, or a lot of effort. Now people are ignoring the SOP, so I didn't understand that. I will try and answer every single question that everyone posts if I can. At the moment, it's pretty easy to do it because we don't have loads of people on the stream. Yeah, I think it's good, guys. If you can find a challenge, if you can find yourself something that you can do in this lockdown every day, a little challenge for yourself, then I think that's really good, really worth doing, especially if it can help other people. That's why I like the challenge of doing these live streams and the videos. Ah, that's a good question. Do I think the world is coming to an end? I don't think the world's coming to an end, but I think we're going through a really bad time. You know, usually in history and usually of all bad times, it does come to an end and then we have a good time. But I know what you mean. I understand what you mean with your question, but I hope not. Hopefully not. The book 30 Days to Reduce Depression. I'm sorry, yeah, but titles like that really offend my intelligence. There's no way that you can Oh, sorry, reduce. Apologies. I apologize. I thought it said 30 days to get rid of depression. I was going to say that's a load of BS. By Harper Daniels does a great job addressing depression. Oh, I would be really grateful if there's some good books that can help people with that. But I sometimes find that people are not honest. They just do these books to make money. They come up with these fancy titles like 18 ways to lose weight, or usually it's not true. It takes longer than that. But yeah, you can reduce depression in 30 days even quicker. So I take your word for it. It's a good book. We've got 16 people on the stream. We've got 15. Yeah, basically, if you just come on this stream, I'm trying to help myself and help other people, give other people a bit of support with depression and anxiety, because I know it's been difficult for me, and I know it must be difficult for a lot of you. Really difficult, with just this what's going on. It's a bit, Doctor. Okay, look, at the end of the day, yeah, this is what my opinion on this. No matter what scientists say and these so-called experts say, you have to live your own experience and see what works for you and what doesn't. Just because a scientist says, "Oh, if you do this, this is going to happen," it's not always true. Scientists are not gods. They're not perfect. They're people. They make mistakes. They get things right. They've got their opinion, and sometimes they're wrong. So for me, I'm not just going to believe something just because a scientist says it. A scientist doesn't mean you're perfect and you're right. I'm going to go and try it out, see what works for me. And if it works, then great. I'll say, yeah, that scientist was right. Happy New Year, Yaron. Good to see you, mate. So for me, I'm not easily naively gullible just because someone says something and they call themselves an expert. I'm not going to believe it without actually seeing if it is true for me. So that's just how I am. I'm a bit stubborn like that because I'm tired of over the years of people talking a lot of bullshit and saying things and writing books and coming out with things, and then when I go and try them in my own life, I think this doesn't work just because it's written in a book or just because a scientist said it. I'm not going to agree with something that doesn't work for me. Sometimes someone can tell you something that's not a scientist and not qualified, and it can change your life. So I'm not saying that scientists are bad or they're always wrong. I'm just saying that they're not always right. They're humans at the end of the day. Do I think social anxiety sufferers would generally benefit mentioning it to a doctor? Yeah, I do. I think if it's really bad and you're not able to improve it by yourself, I think it is good. Yeah, I agree. Literally anything can be a teacher. Yeah, anything can teach you if it can help you or benefit. Do I think weather affects our mood? 100%. I mean, that's been scientifically proven. And in my experience as a person, the weather definitely affects your mood, especially in London. If you come out in London when it's sunny here, it's almost like a bipolar schizophrenia. I mean that respectfully. People change. People are much friendlier when it's hot weather. When it's cold and it's rainy, there's not many people out on the street. So that kind of tells you that the weather does affect our mood. And you've only got to look at yourself and say, well, does it affect my mood? And for me, yes, it does. Have I thought about seeing a therapist? I've seen a therapist. I've done therapy. I've seen doctors and psychologists. So I've done it, yeah. And if there's, I've had some, it's been some of it's been positive, some of it didn't work, some of it was helpful. So I've went through that, and yeah, I've got no problems speaking about that. I think it's really good to get help if you need it. It's much better to get help than sit there and suffer in silence. Um, Dealing with lockdown, introvert versus extroverts. You want me to speak on that? Well, look, at the moment, I think both are struggling. Both are going to struggle because, generally speaking, extroverts get their energy from talking to people, from you know, and so that's going to affect both. So yeah, huh. I'm an extrovert stuck in a social anxiety body. If that makes sense. That makes sense. Sorry, I didn't read all your question. I've just caught it. So many people dislike the cold, but I do like it, although it's summer in South America. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you know, that's a good question because I think sometimes people do over exaggerate with hot weather. Like hot weather is nice, and it is nice when you're on the beach or in hot country, but it's sometimes it's nice to have the cold weather as well. So I like a bit of variety, and maybe that's because I've grown up in England, and we have obviously most of our year is cold, but we do have a hot season. So I like the balance of both. I don't think I would like just one or the other. So I wouldn't want to have weather where it's just hot every day throughout. I think that would be a bit overwhelming, or cold. So I like the bit of both. I think you've asked me that before, John, right? Apologies if I'm being blunt. I can be blunt sometimes. I'm very respectful. I think it's a load of BS. It didn't work for me. I think it look if it works for other people, then obviously um then that would be great. But I think tapping is it. You talking about this? I can't see how doing this is going to take social anxiety away. Anxiety, I really can't. I mean, I could be wrong, but it doesn't work for me. But it's stuff like this that kind of upsets me because there's a lot of these methods that have been brought out over the years claiming that they take away mental illness and anxiety, and they don't work. Didn't work for me. So I think the best therapy out there, I've said it before in my videos, is exposure therapy for social anxiety. Exposure therapy is where you face you expose yourself to people, and you can do it over a period of time slowly. If a person's very anxious, which I used to be, then you would, one step at a time, you might just practice until you get more confident and comfortable. Then you can go to a group. So I'm a huge believer in, the cure for most things is practical action. That's my take on it. I actually think medication is better than tapping. Some people need to take medication, right? I'm not advocating medication. It has its place, but tapping, doing that, and or tapping your head or banging on your chest. I mean, how is that gonna how is that gonna get rid of social anxiety? Please tell me the logic behind that. I can't understand that, and it's gonna be a bit strange if you're in a situation you start doing that, and people are gonna say, and you say, "Oh, I'm just getting my anxiety." I'm sorry, but I don't believe in it. I think it's a load of BS. I think it's another marketing scam to make money from people. That's my opinion. I could be wrong, and but I don't believe in it. I don't think it works. Yeah, but yeah, John. I wasn't having a go at you, John. I was just giving my opinion on the tapping because I care about this because I've been a sufferer of anxiety, and you know, I like to think I'm quite a compassionate person, like a lot of you, and I don't like lying to people about things, and I don't like false promises. What's the point of, you know, a lot of people will just say, yeah, that works because everyone says it works. But you have to be honest. If it doesn't work for you, then it doesn't work. Good to see you, George. Happy New Year, mate. What I can say is things like this help with social anxiety, coming onto live streams, talking. Um, so yeah, okay, I'm just gonna say it out now off the top of my head, things that help for social anxiety. I'm gonna do a video actually. I'm gonna say that for a video. Um, but yeah, man, there's so much BS out there. When I first came into the dating industry, it was the same. There was so much bad advice on how to meet women, and it didn't work. I tried it; it was a load of BS. And when you find what does work, it's usually very straightforward. It's common sense. It obviously does require a lot of effort. It's not a quick fix, but then it gets you there. That's good. Push ups are good. But yeah, you've inspired me to do a video on that, John. I'm going to make a video on that. Yeah, I will make a video on how to deal with social anxiety. Again, I don't know if you're new to my channel. I've done a lot of videos on social anxiety. I mean, it's funny because when I speak to the fans like you guys and stuff, you ask me to do videos on social anxiety, which I'm very happy to do. I like the topic. But when I do it, I get people on the channel saying, "Oh, why is he doing another video on social anxiety? Why does he keep repeating himself?" And it's like, well, because people asked me to do the video, you know, it's a subject that I'm passionate about. A lot of people want help with it. Did you overcome it quickly or gradually, Johnny? No, I didn't overcome. Excuse me. I need a drink. I didn't overcome it quickly. It took me a long time, and I still, I still get it. I still battle with social anxiety, but I don't have it as bad as I used to have it. And I'd say the best progress I ever made with my social anxiety was in my late 20s to early 30s. I really kicked its ass, by going out and socializing a lot and doing public talks and teaching and going to a lot of on dates and stuff like that. I'm going to make a video about that. I think a lot of people will like that. Oh, that's great. We've got 20 people on the stream. Please do give this a like if you're enjoying it. I'm really pleased that I done this stream today. I'm really grateful for you guys and girls coming on because, as I said, I didn't feel like doing the stream that much today, but now I've done it. I'm really enjoying it. So it's kind of the same lesson I've been learning again and again. A lot of the times we don't feel like doing things, but sometimes you've got to push yourself to do things that you don't feel like doing, but they're things that will benefit you and other people. They're positive things, and once you get into it, you start enjoying it. Right? I've got to make a video about this stuff. It's going to help a lot of people. Yeah, that's a life lesson. Wow, we're getting more people on the stream. Uh, I really appreciate that, Saeed. Thanks a lot, mate. Happy New Year, fella. What's your thoughts on covert narcissist? And is it a I don't know much about it, to be honest. I mean, I know a little bit about it, but I'm not really an expert on narcissists. I'm quite socially well, I like to think of myself as socially smart, socially aware of people. But that exact term. Good to see you, Andy. Andy on lock. I like that. I like that name. I quit booze a year ago, and it wasn't helping me. I got over my social anxiety. That's well done to you, David. That's great news, mate. Yeah, I'm gonna do more videos on it. You guys are giving me some great ideas. By the way, I never get tired of the anxiety topic. Like you said, it's an ongoing problem in some people's lives. Yeah, that's why I do the videos on it. I speak about it a lot. I like being able to hear different viewers' perspective and your advice. Me as well. Me too. Yeah, we think the same way, George. I'm the same. That's why I will listen. I'll listen to anyone. I don't care who they are. Anyone who's honest and sincere and can help me as well, because I've always suffered with anxiety. A lot of people might be surprised by that because over the years I've been a confident person and a teacher, but the real truth is that I've always battled with it. I've always struggled. I've suffered it, but I don't think for a large part of my life, I guess I've been very good at dealing with it and getting through life and being able to I don't know, do things that are positive. Has anyone ever called me weird? Yeah, I don't think anyone's. I haven't had too many people call me weird in person in my face, but people have called me weird online, underneath my videos and stuff. So yeah, people have said that, but I don't care about what their opinion is of me because yeah, that's their opinion. I don't. It doesn't bother me. Did you see the clip from Pulp Fiction where Ring Harvey Keitel, the Mr. Wolf, an allergy for someone who helps in a situation? That's the quick to the point. I know what you're talking about. I love that film, Pulp Fiction. I'm gonna watch that again. It's an absolute classic for anyone who hasn't seen it. Yeah, yeah. I got bullied at school. I think a lot of people did. Um, I was fortunate that I started to stand up to the bullies, and I bullied the bullies back, and then they stopped. But there was a period where I got bullied for a while until I stood up for myself. It's not nice. Yeah, people who are popular at school suffer as well, man. You realize that as you get older. It takes a little bit of time. You start seeing, things that you might not have noticed. I think for most people, the school is where a lot of our anxieties come from because there's a lot of bullying. Kids can be nasty when they're younger. They're insecure, and a lot of our issues with anxiety or depression or um, confidence issues, they come from being bullied at school and stuff. But you can improve it. You can overcome it to a large degree. You can transform yourself. I did it. Many people have done it by facing your fears. That's the only way I know how to do it. And that's a lot within that. Within facing your fears, there's a lot you can do to transform yourself. Yeah, I mean that is human sometimes. We're only human at the end of the day. We when I was growing up, when I was younger like you, I didn't like people looking at me and watching me. I think it made me feel anxious and uncomfortable. And sometimes I can feel like that if I'm having a bad day. But yeah, these are things, these are the things that we that we all struggle with it. It's just learning to kind of manage them a little bit better, or a lot better. Yes, I've done some videos on bullying, right? I've given some of my advice. Maybe I'm gonna make another one because it happens to a lot of people. The key is not letting the bullies ruin your life. It's not letting them, not allowing them to make you feel like you're not good enough, and you're able to do that. Yeah, yeah, David. That's another part of having anxiety, or even being human, is sometimes, when people stare at you too long, you can feel paranoid. Again, although these are things, I know they're things that we don't like these things, but the more we speak about these things, the more it's going to help people to deal with them and maybe get past these things. But everyone goes through that. I've had that loads of times in my life. And I think sometimes that's healthy, when you've grown up in an environment where people have been dangerous around you, and bullied you. It's going to make you a little bit nervous and a bit paranoid, apprehensive. But when people are staring at you, because you're kind of thinking, what are they going to do, or what are their motives? But it is good to rebuild yourself and maybe take up martial arts, or do, work out. Obviously, we can't do that kind of right now, but when things get back to normal, you can do all these things. I will make a video on how to deal with, being bullied and made to feel, not good or not confident. How you can build your confidence. Watch The Karate Kid, man. I know it's a movie. I know it's a little bit cheesy, but the lessons are in that film. That's a beautiful story. It really is a film about bullying, about overcoming bullying, and all the lessons are in the film. Yeah, freezing up. Yeah, that's common. I don't think so, John. Right? I'm not 100%, but I don't think you can develop social anxiety if you haven't had any kind of trauma or bullying and abuse. I think, I'm confident from my experience, these are the causes, bullying, abuse, trauma, unless it's hereditary, unless it's just in your family genetics, and you inherited it from when you were born. So it could be a possibility, but in most cases, it's unlikely that a person's going to have social anxiety without having gone through some bullying and trauma in their childhood. Yeah, I think parents can pass it on as well. I think it can be a learned behavior, but you can overcome it a lot as well. You can improve a lot, through practice and stuff. Wow, I didn't realize how quick the time's gone. I can't believe we've been on the stream for excuse me. We've been on the stream for almost an hour and a half. It's flown by. This has been great today. It's been quite therapeutic, hasn't it? A lot of people have gotten to speak about, and I think that helps as well to speak about these things. I agree, David. I agree. That's one of the great ways In all the kind of therapies over the years, they say that relationship building is really what heals a person. I totally believe in that. So being around people that you feel comfortable around and that you get along with and that are nice people, that is a big part of the healing process. From my experience, I agree on that. Yeah, you're right, Eon. Saying hello is really good for reducing anxiety. Simple exercises like that can really help. I found when I was running my free fearless meetups, they were life changing, man. I couldn't believe the progress that people were making and also that I was making. It was great seeing people improve. And that's basically a meetup group. I would say that's one of the best therapies for social anxiety is to go to. And I know it's scary for people and it's uncomfortable initially, but if you can go to an event where there's 10 people or 20 or 5 people, an event where you can interact with people that are positive or that are just good people, it really does help to reduce your social anxiety and build your social confidence. I'll probably do a live stream on the topic of social anxiety because today it's come up a lot. You guys have spoken about a lot, and I didn't know it was gonna come up. I didn't really know what we'd talk about, maybe sports or boxing. So I will do a video on that. I've got a lot of experience with facing social anxiety, having it, overcoming it, dealing with it. I appreciate that, David, mate. Thanks a lot. And with the support and help from you guys and girls, we can really make a difference on this platform, and it can help each and every one of us. So it does go a long way. I do appreciate people liking, subscribing to the channel. If you enjoy the videos and commenting and just put in your input, your support, it's great. That's a good way of putting it, John. Yeah, that's nicely said. It's one of the ways to deal with it is to get outside of yourself. Yeah, it really is about that, John. It really is about coming out of your own head and getting more comfortable, sharing with people, being vulnerable, talking. Appreciate that, John. Cheers, mate. But the good news is, in my experience, as someone who suffered with social anxiety like you guys, you can really, I'm not saying you completely get rid of it, but you can really reduce it. You can become confident with people. I did it, and I'm just a normal person, as you can see and hear. So that means any of you can do it if you're determined and you can push yourself and face your fears and keep pushing yourself in social situations that you're nervous about. You'll get better. You'll build more confidence. So it is important to focus on the positive. It's not like you're doom and gloomed. It's not like, oh, if you've got social anxiety, you're doomed for the rest of your life. It's not like that. And if anyone thinks like that, they really need to consider um, thinking differently, because I've got the experience from improving with it and helping a lot of people. You know, during the years when I was teaching, full time, I was coaching, like 5 to 6 people every week, who had social anxiety, and I was seeing the improvements. So you have to put a lot of effort in, but it's worth it. I'll make a video about that, about when your mind goes blank and you struggle with things to say to people, because that used to happen to me a hell of a lot, and I started to overcome that with practice. But yeah, that's one of the symptoms. It is, it is hard to deal with social anxiety in COVID because you're not getting as many opportunities to practice talking to people, which is the very thing that you need to improve it. But there are other little things you can do, like coming onto live streams. And another good thing that you guys can try, which really helps me, has helped me over the years, is talking into a video camera, like what I'm doing now, or practicing. Even if you don't want to put the video out on the internet for people to see, just practicing talking in front of a camera can really improve your confidence and your speaking ability, and it can improve your anxiety. Yeah, I've gotten a lot of inspiration today from from our live stream talk, and I'm gonna pen down all the different, all the experience that I've got with dealing with social anxiety. I'm gonna do a video that will help people on it. Yeah, that's a good point, Jeremiah. I never thought of that. All right, guys, I'm gonna call it a day. It's been great. We've gone for about an hour and a half, and I plan to do an hour, so we've gone longer. Really appreciate everyone coming on today. I really enjoyed the chat. It was fun. It was really informative. So we'll do another one. Look out for the live streams on the channel, and I hope everyone's hanging in there. I know it's a difficult time, guys. It is difficult. I'm finding it difficult as well, but we've just got to do our best to hang in there, and just try and stay positive, and just try and enjoy life, and just take one day at a time, and just get through the days, and just pray and hope that things will get better. But with the support from everyone, it makes life easier. But yeah, guys, for the rest of the evening, watch a nice film that'll put you in a good mood. And yeah, appreciate all of you. You've been great, very, very good people, very good to talk with. And thanks for supporting me as well. Really do appreciate it a lot. And I'll see you guys soon. Maybe tomorrow we'll jump on again in the evening on the stream. All right. So I'll see you guys shortly. All right. Have a good one. And remember, become fearless.